Welcome to battle number 3 of week number 1 of the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This battle is going to be pitting Colin, who is leading Blitz City Haxorus, versus Fingered Witch, who is leading Nighwishiwashi. As a reminder, the Mega Pokemon are Mega Pinsir and Mega Altaria, respectively. As for Z Pokemon, Jirachi can use any Z move, and then Eelektross could use attack Z moves. Overall, this is going to be a really interesting battle. Lots of orange Pokemon on the on Colin's team, and then lots of floating Pokemon on Fingered Witch's team. I think the interesting thing to watch in this battle is definitely going to be priority. We have Pinsir, who could use Quick Attack. We have wow, I forgot. Honchkrow. The name slipped. We have Honchkrow, who could Sucker Punch. And those are going to be two really strong forces to be reckoned with because they both threaten each other's team really, really hard, actually. So this will be an interesting one. Ditto, of course, is going to be an interesting one. Copying Beast Boost, perhaps, or being able to transform into Mega Pinsir. That will be a big feat if it could do that. Eelektross also looks like it's going to be good on Fingered Witch's team, whereas Camerupt could actually be pretty good if it could stay away from Wishiwashi on Colin's team. Overall, it's going to be a pretty nice explosive battle, I think. Looks pretty offensive instead of defensive. Without any further ado, I think we can begin. They're both commenting on how Xurkitree looks so tiny in the battle preview. Alright, so I'm going to take a guess on who's leading. I'm going to think Camerupt maybe to set up Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock looks like it'll be really good in this matchup with both Honchkrow and Scolipede taking big damage and Altaria in its base form before it Mega Evolves. It's actually Xurkitree who leads, and Ditto is going to be the one who comes out. A Child's Toothpaste versus Blue Thunder. Xurkitree versus Xurkitree. Let's see how this goes. Alright, and Camerupt's the one to come out, but a Volt Switch is not going to work against this Camerupt. It is free to set up Stealth Rock now. Xurkitree is going to want to switch out of this scenario, and indeed, Proletariat, the Wishiwashi, comes out, taking a Flash Cannon. It does barely any damage, though. Wishiwashi is now free to threaten Camerupt. I think we could probably see a Rotom Wash come in. Yep, Optimus Wash comes in, taking that Waterfall. It does about 20% damage. Not too much damage, but Rotom Wash can hit back very strongly with a Volt Switch. And in comes Eelektross. Sucktube, the Will-O-Wisp, is going to miss. Dodge Bullet for Sucktube. It's not going to want to get that Will-O-Wisp. Will it switch out, or is it a special Eelektross? I don't know if it's Eelektross or Eelektross. I say like both. Sometimes I say Tross, sometimes I say Tros. Eelektross or Tros can damage Rotom in this situation, but Rotom can also use Will-O-Wisp, so both sides have their own advantages. Let's see what happens. And Jirachi's the one to come out. Volt Switch allows Sucktube to switch out. Does pretty big damage, down to 54% for Jirachi. Jachirachi. And now a Pokemon is free to come in. I'm guessing we might see Honchkrow, as it does pretty well against Jirachi. Indeed, I have a Haunch. The Honchkrow could go ahead and go for the Sucker Punch, but Jirachi is probably not going to want that to happen, so I think it'll probably switch out. Oh, no, it doesn't switch out. Sucker Punch takes down Jirachi, and Moxie is going to raise I have a Haunch's attack one stage. In comes Xurkitree. Sucker Punch can go again if Xurkitree is not careful. I think Sucker Punch would be a one-hit KO at this point. Ooh, Volt Switch actually goes first, taking down I have a Haunch, the Honchkrow. It's going to switch out, so that Beast Boost is not going to stay. And in comes Camerupt. We could probably see Wishiwashi again. Indeed, we see Wishiwashi schooling up the Proletariat. And will Rotom Wash come in once again? It is 5-5 between both sides. But Jirachi is down, which is a big threat to Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria is going to be a lot more comfortable and have a lot more wiggle room in this battle now. And indeed, in comes Rotom Wash, taking that waterfall once again. Will Rotom Wash go through the Will-O-Wisp on the Electro switch-in? I think it will. Indeed, it does. We did see Electros use Volt Switch last time, so it could be a specially based Electros, which would be good for Electros, because the burn really doesn't matter that much. And Electros goes for the Volt Switch, but it's not going to work against Camerupt. Is Electros choiced? That's the big question of the day. If it is, it's going to have to manually switch out. If it's not, it could maybe use a different attack against Camerupt. In comes Wishiwashi, and it takes a flamethrower, not going to do that much damage. Will we see the Rotom Wash switch in yet again? Wishiwashi went for Waterfall the last 2 times. I'm being told to read something out loud. Stop copying me, Xurkitree said angrily. Ditto's face became even more expressionless. It could not stop copying him, even if it wanted to. Ditto's insecurities about himself peaked as he realized that his only personality trait is that he steals others' personalities. Written to you by Noob Scrub. And indeed, the same situation happens again. Deja vu. Poindexter and Y comes out. Proletariat's going to use Beat Up. It does not do much damage, doing 1%, 0%, 1%, 0%. So yeah, not really a lot of damage against Scrafty, especially with that Intimidate. Will we see Altaria come out? Actually, Ditto might be a good choice in this situation too. Because of Intimidate, it would be using it right against itself. Altaria does come out. Yaltaria takes an Iron Head. That would do big damage if it was a Mega Altaria. I do believe Altaria would go first unless the speed investments are off. And Rotom Wash comes out. Altaria Mega Evolves and uses Hyper Voice. It's going to take Rotom Wash down to 16%. Will we see Camerupt come in? Camerupt, I think, is the only one who could comfortably take a Hyper Voice at this point. Rotom Wash is in big trouble. Rotom Wash is a very pivotal Pokemon in this matchup for Colin, being able to comfortably come in on other Pokemon. And a Child's Toothpaste actually comes in and takes that Will-O-Wisp. And now Ditto is free to use a move, but Scrafty's going to come in. Ditto goes for the Will-O-Wisp on Scrafty. And now Scrafty's burn. That's going to be a big problem for Scrafty. Really smart use of Will-O-Wisp there. Lots of burns being spread around with Rotom Wash on one side and then Ditto copying Rotom Wash, spreading the burns on the other side. And Electros comes in to take that Iron Head. It barely does any damage. Some really good predictions being made by Fingered Witch at this point. Will we see the Volt Switch again? Will Camerupt come in again? No, actually, Drain Punch goes ahead and does some damage. Knockoff is going to get rid of the Assault Vest on Poindexter and Y. Mega Altaria at this point, I think, is safe to switch into Poindexter's attack. Because it's burned, and then maybe roost off some of the damage. But Scolipede is going to come in. Horse Girl the Scolipede, taking minimal damage from that Iron Head. Scolipede is now free to set up Swords Dance, most likely. However, Mega Pinsir is going to be a big problem for Scolipede because of the fact that it has Quick Attack, and Quick Attack becomes boosted by Air Lay into Flying Quick Attack. We have Swords Dance up with Horse Girl. The speed boost is also going to raise its speed. Poison Jab doing big damage. Zen Headbutt also doing big damage. Poindexter looks like it's going to be going down pretty soon. And indeed it does, but I think we'll be seeing Pinsir soon. And yes, Pinsir comes out. Beetlejuice the Pinsir. Will Horse Girl stay in or switch out? It's a big risk for both sides, I think, but less of a risk for Pinsir, as it could just go for the Quick Attack. And indeed, that's what it does. It goes for the Quick Attack. Down goes Scolipede. We'll probably see Electros come out. Or maybe Ditto. It's actually Electros that comes out. Will Pinsir have a move to take down Sucktube? Camerupt comes in, taking a Flamethrower. It does about 20%, not much damage. Camerupt has been really good in this matchup for Colin. Will we see Wishiwashi once again? Indeed we will. Wishiwashi comes out and starts schooling. The Will-O-Wisp is going to burn it though, which is not good because this does appear to be a physically based Wishiwashi. Rotom probably will come in. Yes, Rotom does come in. Waterfall's going to hit, but do 10%. Pretty much almost completely recovered by the leftovers. And Thunderbolt's going to take Wishiwashi down to 6%, but Iapapa Berry is going to bring it back up. U-turns allowing Proletariat the Wishiwashi to switch out safely. Ditto would be a really good Pokemon to come out at this point. Rotom Wash would be a good Pokemon to copy. Indeed, Ditto's the one to come out. And Xurkitree comes out, getting Will-O-Wisped. Will Ditto stay in and go for the Hydro Pump, or will there be a switch? And Altaria comes out. Volt Switch hits. And who will be the one to come in? At this point, it'll be hard for most Pokemon to take hits from Mega Altaria. Four with both sides having some Pokemon down to low HP. Camerupt's the one who's going to come in. Altaria, I think, at this point can actually go for a Roost and get some bang out of that buck for Roost. Will-O-Wisp will hurt the longevity of Altaria. And indeed, it goes for the Flash Cannon. That's going to lower Altaria's special defense, which is not good if it's trying to roost out that damage. That's a really lucky special defense lowering. Altaria is in a tough position right now. Wishiwashi is the one to come out instead, probably taking a flash cannon. Indeed. Will Wishiwashi go for the U-turn to safely bring in Altaria once again versus Rotom Wash? No, it goes for the waterfall. And down goes Proletariat. Electros is the one to come out, probably going to go for the Volt Switch, but Camerupt can come in freely on Electros. Oh, actually, Hydro Pump is able to take Electros down. Altaria comes in. Can it Roost or Hyper Voice this Rotom Wash? Ooh, and the Will-O-Wisp misses, but Hyper Voice is going to be used, not Roost. Pinsir could come in now and use Quick Attack. And indeed, that's what Pinsir does. Quick Attack's going to take down Mega Altaria. It is all up to Ditto, but it's burned, which is not good for a Mega Pinsir imposter copy. Two Mega Pinsers stare each other in the face. The best scenario for Ditto would probably be maybe getting a return hit on Pinsir and then going for the Quick Attack to finish it off, but it would be really hard to do that. Pinsir's staring at each other once again, probably some calculations being done. And a return's going to hit, dealing big damage. And the return hits back, dealing big damage back, and Mega Pinsir clinches that one. It's a 3-0 victory for Colin over Fingered Witch. That's Blitz City Haxorus over Nighwishiwashi. Very, very good battle between both sides. Yeah, both sides, like, it was a pretty close battle. Beetlejuice, the Mega Pinsir, almost going down at the end. I really think that this was a strong start for both of these trainers. Colin proving once again that Rotom Wash, and especially Camerupt. I think Camerupt is like a ride or die for him. Like, that Pokemon he has been able to use really well in the last league and in this league. So very, very good on Camerupt for being able to shine so bright in this battle. I think it was probably one of the most useful Pokemon along with Rotom Wash. And then Mega Altaria being able to do a lot too. A lot of the Pokemon on the other team actually being able to do a lot in this battle. So great stuff from both sides. This was battle number 3 of week 1. We still have 5 more battles coming up for you, so tune in for those. They'll be coming soon. Until then, this is Noel from Sun and Friendly, and see you then.